got a clear track ahead for the future.
You weren't planning on spending the night in here, were you?
On any other day, that would have been a treat. What time is it?
5 minutes to 4. You're the last one out.
All right. Well, this is all I brought in here.
You know you can just work on whatever it is you're doing inside the depot, right? It would save me the hassle of walking all over the yard trying to check if I'm locking anyone in or not.
Yes, I'm well aware, Gracie, but nobody bothers you when you're in a secluded location no one thinks to look. I mean, what better place to get the creative juices flowing if you're trying to come up with ways to save something you're passionate about?
Don't you have other hobbies or pastimes you could be enjoying?
Yes, but this is the first one I've had that's actually meant something to me.
Weirdo.
That's not too far out. I was enjoying the rest at first, but now I'm just itching to run trains again.
You're not the only one, Matt. I, for one, am not letting a few coughs get in the way of canceling our entire season.
This is a bit more serious than that, but okay.
What? Matt, we're not just gonna cram everyone inside without masks. I'm working closely with James about how we're going to reopen with social distancing and protective measures as they're updated. I'm not about to let our train be a super spreader.
Just checking.
Besides that, we still got public outreach work to do. Are you getting anywhere with some of the things we talked about?
Yep. Good news is that James approved of the live stream excursion.
So the next question is, when was this line built originally?
1908 was when they started building. It was originally called the Greater Milliard Railway and was founded by Mr. Philip Vanguard as a way to move freight around the congested city of Milliard. By building this loop of track around the city, he was wanting to give trains the option to bypass the city and beat the traffic, not to mention reduce the concentration of smoke pollution from all those coal burners.
Seemed a little elaborate for a city as small as Milliard, though, doesn't it?
True, but there was lots of speculation in those days that Milliard would get as big as St. Louis or Kansas City. By the time the tracks to Merriman were finished in 1913, the growth kinda tapered off, and that whole circle of track was never completed.
Gotcha. We can only imagine what might have been if... Now that's the unmistakable signal that we hit something.
I don't see a carcass, so it was a close call, I bet.
Good. One more thing we won't have to bury. They probably think that freight trains are the only things that come this way.
Fortunately, we haven't had any yet that tried to hop out an excursion.
Yep. Just be like, nope, we oversold this run.
Next question, guys.
Right. What is it?
How is the restoration of 1255 coming along?
Ask one of the Stain guys.
Okay, then.
At this stage, we've gotten the drive wheels back underneath the engine. We've reassembled the valve gear, as you see here, and some of the piping for the boiler, and the brakes are starting to reappear. Before we put the fluids back in, we're still waiting on a few components to be finished by an outside contractor. Unfortunately, though, We learned a few days ago that the firm we were working with is now out of business because of the crisis. So at this moment, we're formulating the next phase of our plan and should have an announcement in the near future.
So just to clarify, the virus hasn't put a stop to the restoration, correct?
Correct. See, this is exactly why we usually don't set dates for when projects like this are completed, because adding a deadline usually results in taking more time, money, and effort than we all would have originally estimated. But rest assured, this engine will run. That's why we're here.
That's good. Speaking of flu time, someone is asking about Gory and Defeated 30. Wasn't its flu time set to expire this year?
Yeah. The 30 was first restored to operation in 2005, so this year would have been 30's last on its boiler ticket. The FRA has been granting 1-year exemptions for locomotives to operate if they have 1 year left, but we're still deciding if we should pursue that or not. We still have Washoe Valley 72 to work with in the meantime, and as long as they don't mind us keeping the mogul as long as we need it, we'll do our best to ensure that steam will always have a steady presence.
Other than that, we hope that you enjoyed this little story time from the Cab of 72, and we definitely encourage our other steam train friends, like at the Dry Brook and Esopus Valley, to join us in providing some quality time with our fans as we all shelter in place. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we hope to see you all again real soon. So much for a captive audience. This dry spell's starting to cut into our revenue base, and I'm running out of ideas. If we don't start running trains again soon, we probably won't get enough revenue to stay open next year. I'm Twila.
Twila, did you get the email blast from Dad?
If there was one sent out, I didn't see it. What's up?
He says the stay-at-home order is being lifted in 2 weeks. He's forming a plan to reopen the railroad and wanted to coordinate with you.
Oh, wait, isn't Atwood Grove still closed during all this?
We're not letting passengers off there. We're just gonna take them there and back, and you and Matt are supposed to work out something to keep them entertained.
Oh, well, that makes sense. If we're keeping everyone isolated to minimize spreading...
Yeah, it's all covered in the email blast, so just read up and you'll be up to speed, okay? Okay, bye.
Alright, Oh. Well, we're opening back up. That's a step in the right direction. So I'm guessing that we're also working as a skeleton crew for these runs?
Sort of. I'm car hosting both the heavyweights, while Gracie's back there in the lightweights.
Gracie's car hosting?
She's covering for Elliot, who has something called immunocompromised.
He's immunocompromised.
That. Basically, he's more vulnerable to catching the virus. Gracie's not thrilled about working on board, but she's in air conditioning at least, which makes it just that little bit more tolerable.
Man, and I'm probably spending most of my time back there doing the narration too. She gets frustrated enough whenever she and I are, well, in the same room as each other.
Don't let her get you down, Twy. It's a trying time for all of us. Why else do you think we're counting on 72 to get us through these trips?
You're right. It's our first day of a new season, and we gotta show our guests that they're in good hands.
You washed yours before clocking in, right?
And probably 8 more times up until now.
Oh. I only got 5 in.
I think we're covered. If the onboard crew is all set, now would be a good time to get the passengers up to speed on the guidelines and such.
Sounds good to me.
When is 12:55 gonna be finished?
Where's your mask?
Where's your wristband?
Oh, I'm not writing, I'm just chasing.
Out! All aboard back here, 72. Take us ahead.
Highball 72.
Let's hear it for our engine crew engineer, Arthur Hiller, and fireman Neil Varney for bringing us here safely. So, with them coupling up to the other end of the train, we shouldn't be here for too long.
Twila? Little help here?
Oh, wait a minute. That sounds like our brakeman. Matt, what did you do?
Nothing. I was just checking the journal box when this guy came up and asked if we were going to Argentina.
Well, don't let him get too close. 6 feet apart, remember?
That's kind of the least of my worries here.
Just stay calm, Matt. I got this. Hey, buddy, you know these tracks don't go to Argentina, right?
Well, this is the only way out of here for me. I've already done my time, but still gotta wear this over my face because reasons.
I mean, what's wrong with hiding out here? This place is already a ghost town.
If you go that way and take the 10-8 express downtown, you'll blend in with the rest of us.
Yeah, but you see, this type of mask gets me recognized in public.
Well, listen, even if we did have a route to Argentina in place, as weird as it be to get there by train, all 95 of us passengers and crew would be stuck tagging along with you.
Yeah, and given how we're all seen to maintain social distancing, where would you sit?
Who said I'd be in the train with you all?
Don't try the roof. These lightweights have nothing to hold on to, and I speak from experience on that. Or the undersides. We don't use truss rods anymore.
I like how you're trying to use danger to dissuade me from holding up this train.
Well, no. It's because, well, come over here and I'll show you. So, like, the trains that you're probably thinking of would have had ladders and grab irons to climb on, especially on corners where this vestibule is. If the vestibule is closed like this, you'd have a hard time getting inside.
Matt's back on board, ready to pull north.
Hold up! You're not leaving me in this ghost town, you... Whoa! I'll get you and your iron horse. As long as I'm in this ghost town, you'll never hear the last of me!
Thanks, guys. I was not in the mood to be claimed by 2020.
Enjoy the rest of your ride, and please don't hesitate to ask any of our car hosts if you need anything, even if it's through the call porter button. Thank you.
EMT to conductor.
Conductor here.
We have a passenger in the Cascade shuttle showing symptoms. We have a quarantine and he needs treatment urgently.
We'll have an ambulance waiting for him in Nelson Falls.
Thanks. EMT up.
Conductor to 72, we have a passenger showing symptoms. Can you guys kick it up a notch?
We'll do our best.
Thanks so much for coming by. Getting every nook and cranny in all 5 cars?
And every visible surface in between. This is probably the most extensive cleaning these cars have received in their entire lives.
It sure looks like it, Margaret. And we're doing this after every run?
As long as people are coming in to ride. That is, as long as they have advance reservations and proper protection. We did have to turn away some customers that didn't have either of those things.
I just hope they understand how much the world has changed, and how fast, too. How soon you think we'll know?
Results take a few days. Even just from watching from a distance, that was way too close for comfort.
It's a good thing he was in the Cascade Shoals. That all-private room sleeper offers the ultimate self-isolation. All other passengers got mandatory temperature checks before we arrived back. Everyone I talked to has been very understanding. They're happy to have us back again.
But we gotta run a whole season like this. What if cases start going back up and this happens again? What if one of us catches it, and then...
Whoa, easy there, Twy. No one is accusing you of endangering anyone. This virus isn't going to shut us down permanently or break our spirit. We just got to get through this weird moment in time, and we'll have this all behind us one day.
If we had more people supporting us without risking their health, that'd be a lot more calming. We were on such a roll after the Nightingale special, and now our hard work might get tarnished because of this. I just want to do what's best for this place.
You're doing that part wonderfully, Twila. You probably don't hear this enough, but we're all proud of you for taking a stand to get us through this.
Hey.
Hey, the family from that first trip called. Their father tested negative, but he did go to an event without a mask a few days prior.
Thanks. Glad that they're okay. Is our operating schedule still the same?
Dad's taking his time thinking about it, like he always does. Just don't go gossiping about anything you might hear to any foamers or any of your friends, okay?
Not a problem. I find it amusing how you assume that I have friends outside of the museum.
No one? You really have nothing better to do than hang out at an old, musty train yard all weekend? Girl, you need help. I can hook you up with my book club on Zoom, or maybe some online multiplayer game. Normally I would offer a manicure, but
Racy, thanks for the offer. I really appreciate it. But I've been through enough heartbreak from before I started volunteering. Besides that, I still have college to work through online. I'll be fine.
Alright. Enjoy the air conditioning at least.
That kinda looks like 72. Are they getting any of the technical details correct?
It looks alright. I mean, they could have decked the engine out with a fake diamond stack and a box headlight, but it's probably a good thing they didn't have the budget for that.
Sure has aged pretty well for what it's worth. I see lots of underlying themes that seem to be in tune with the times.
Anyone can turn something cheesy into social commentary, but only true masters like Mr. Science Theater 3000 know how to do it right.
You and Neil both got the same taste with pop culture. Well, I could think of worse ways to end the excursion season early, but the way we got this set up, this could become a regular thing for us, even after the virus passes. Did you have any movie recommendations?
None that would be suitable for family viewing. You and Matt are a lot better at figuring out what's best for the museum going forward, like getting those cold guns started here since we're not running anymore. I hear we're getting paid quite generously to keep those here.
Actually, that was James's idea.
Oh. Well, still, every little bit helps. Between us operating crew guys giving it our all, and the outside world ever changing, this has been a real wake-up call that we got to keep innovating and move forward.
After the virus passes, we're all going to want to do our best.